to the Super Saturday in Milwaukee, which is very exciting. So CG sit-ins, she was the one that did the Monday night call with Danielle and Kayla Kraft. And just so you know who that is, Liz, they're in our upline. They're millionaires, they're our age, they're fabulous. And they pour, and I added you onto that Believe page, that BELIEV.
Yeah.
So that's their page. So they do these Monday night calls where they get different people outside of our team. So CG sit-ins, who is a millionaire, and she's not even 30. She was our guest speaker Monday. She's going to be there in Milwaukee on Saturday. And then Chris Harder, who's originally from Wisconsin, he is going to be there as well. And he's another Isagenix millionaire. But his wife, Lori Harder, you see her on a lot of fitness magazines and the Oxygen magazines. And she's a very successful fitness model. On our team. So it's, or does Isagenix. They're not on our team, but they're on Isagenix. So, which is very cool. They're both going to be there. So along with the IsaBody winner, this is Elvie.
Elvie Shepard.
Yeah. So that's going to be cool too. So, but anyway, did you guys get to watch, where is my notebook? Did any of you get to log in and watch CG on Monday, Danielle and Kayla's call?
I did not have a chance. No.
All right, Katie, you're so delayed. I don't even know if you're talking. She's frozen. Okay, I got to find my notebook. I don't know if she saw it or not. So, before Paul gets started on his stuff, I'm just going to go over a couple of things that okay, so one of the things that I thought was the most encouraging of the whole call, so she's an Isagenix millionaire, and she has two, all she has are two, one on her left and one on her right, business builders. One of them took 3.5 years of being on the products before she decided to be a business builder. And I just thought that was so reassuring, because I feel like Paul and I was having actually this conversation with Jess, and Paul and I have had this conversation. Like, sometimes you just feel like you get in this rut, like you feel like you're trying, like the wheels are moving, but you're not going anywhere. So it was just really, it validated that, oh, we're not the only ones that feel this way. So 3.5 years having a product user, and now she's her biggest business builder. So just, to not give up on people, pour love into people, because you never know who's gonna, some people are gonna catch the vision right away, and some people it's gonna take 3.5 years. But that person is now what helped her become a millionaire. So, and the other one, she said, took a year of using the product. So again, it was just good to hear that. Let's see. Oh, they talked about, and I really like this analogy that, again, with network marketing, and Liz, I know, and I don't know how much of Beachbody you did, but, with network marketing, you can't, it's hard work. I mean, that's why they say network marketing. So she said, we have to be a tennis ball and not an egg. So it's kind of like the coffee pot philosophy, or the coffee with the waitress, when their waitress goes to pour coffee from table to table, and some are going to say yes, some are going to say no. But after the end, if she has all these people saying no to coffee, is she going to slam down her coffee pot and say, I'm done, I'm not going to be a waitress anymore? No, because they're saying no to the coffee, just like they're saying no to Isagenix. They're not saying no to us. So it's kind of the same thing. We need to be a tennis ball and not an egg. We just need to, if people say no, you got to just keep going, keep bouncing. We don't want to just break and give up and be like, okay, we're done.
Right.
So I really like that analogy. She talked about what are her 3 action steps. They said, if you had to build this business all over again, what would your 3 action steps be? And she said the first one would be to make a list, and we talk a lot about that, like, who do you know, make your list of 100 people and reach out to those people. It does not do any good if you have this list and you do nothing with them. And so, like I said, that's what I've been doing today. And you have to find, we've had this conversation before on what works for you. Some people like to build that relationship and connect and then bring up Isagenix. Some people are more bold and forward. And I've been actually, because that's me, I'm a red, I'm a, let's get the shit done type of thing. I mean, I'm a touchy-feely, emotional person. I'm a social worker, but I'm still like, let's cut to the chase type of person. So, and lately, I've been, I ran into a couple of people and even a girl that I used to work with. She just went back to work. She's got 2 babies, 2 kiddos at home. And I just said, hey, Amy, I don't know if this is something you'd be interested in, but you came to my mind. I'm a busy full-time working mom too. I love the nutrition I've been doing for the last two and a half years. Would you like to hear more about it? Instead of, hey, how are things? I mean, not that that's a bad, how are things going? Trying to build that back and forth type of thing. It's good and people have success with it. But for me, working full time and having kids and, Paul coaching soccer and me running, I don't have time to jibber jabber back and forth, again. So for me, I'm like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I don't know if it's for you, but would you be interested in watching a video? And then that's when I've been sending that Mary Evans video. So isamovie.com, if you haven't watched all of those videos, please do, because there's so many good ones, whether it's for energy, whether it's sports performance, whether it's weight loss, whether it's healthy aging. There are so many good movies on isamovie.com. So I personally like the Mary Evans, but if it's somebody that, it doesn't relate to, then I would never send Mary Evans. But for the majority of people, again, as we talked about, because she talks about why we need isogenics, that's why I like it, because she's kind of all encompassing. So that's how I've been doing my reach outs. Paul, do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, I would just say if you search it and send it, make sure that you search up the video on Vimeo, Vimeo. It's a website that is just basically a host site to different video links. I prefer that, and they have their own search engine where you can just type in Mary Evans, Just Cleanse, and it'll bring up a video copy, a link of the video. The reason I say that, Liz, is because if you go out and just search it on YouTube, you pull it up there. But then oftentimes, send the people that YouTube link, you got all this garbage that pops up on the right, like all other video links and stuff. And Vimeo is just a cleaner format, and you don't have to worry about, whatever's going to randomly pop up, either positive or negative about isogenics on the, on the sidebar.
Yeah, I just copied. I think Kristen sent it to me. So then I copied it and I sent it to Jessica off of the messenger, off of just iMessenger.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess see where I'm sure I sent it to her. So just make sure it's Vimeo, because Vimeo, it's just that video, like Paul said, on YouTube, because it's also on YouTube, but on YouTube, you have all of the other stuff, and you're not going to find all positive about something. There's always negative about everything. And so this just gets rid of the negative, videos that might be out there. But I'm almost, because I always do Vimeo now, so I'm sure that's the one she sent to you. So, and another thing to consider, and Liz, we have family that lives in Minnesota. We would totally come up and help you with a lunch party. Yeah. And Harmony's having her first one in November. And it's not even like she's incorporating it with a birthday party. So it's basically, hey, come and check out what I'm doing. And you can incorporate it with anything. But it's, it's a great way to, Paul and I have done like 3 or 4 of them now. And, we forgot to get milk at Target. Sorry, Audrey. But we've done like 3 or 4 of them, and we're going to do another one, even though we've been doing this 2.5 years, because you're always meeting new people or you're reconnecting with people. So there's always new people to invite. So we would typically come up to see you. And I've never met Kristen either. So I keep telling her I want to meet her. So anyway, if you're, keep that in the back of your mind.
I will.
And then the number 3 action step that Cindy said is getting out of the house. And that was something a lot of people say, because we can get so wrapped up into social media. And yes, social media is a good platform as far as reaching out to people, but they're like, you have to meet people. So, doing meetup groups, that must be like a huge thing, because that's what everyone keeps talking about. or meetup groups. I personally don't have time to do a meetup group, but someone like Paul could. The chamber, I've heard a lot of people talk about the Chamber of Commerce, joining clubs, like starting doing moms groups, because obviously you have your little one, Liz, and and now that our kids are in school in harmony with your kids being in school, trying to be more involved with the kids' activities and meeting parents that way. But it's all about meeting people and expanding your network. They talked about, oh my gosh, one of the things they said, and this was a while ago, but they're like, if you're getting a pedicure or manicure, don't go to a place where no one speaks English. Spend the extra $10. And I'm like, that's so true. Because, you never know when you're going to find somebody that's interested, because who doesn't want happy, healthier, sexier, or financially free, right? Pretty much everybody. So, and I guess it's a tax write-off, so.
Right. Some Mary Kay lady tried to sell me that at a nail salon before, so it works. Because I almost bought.
Yeah. I was like, that's really, like even hair, anything like that, just being more diligent about, okay, why not spend the extra money to actually get somebody that's, you can have a conversation with. So.
Right.
All right. So Paulie is going to be taking it from here. So those were a lot of CG, a lot of it was her story. And a lot of it is stuff we've all talked about. But those are some of the key things that I wrote down. Oh, and I wrote this last thing down because we're very spiritual people, and I love it whenever somebody, So anyway, it says we need to step up now. If you don't show more, if we don't show that we can handle what we have now, then God's not going to give us any more. So if we're not going to take what we have and do good things with what we have already, He's not going to give us more.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that is so true. I have to show Him that, yes, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of hard to juggle everything. But if I do a good job, then He's going to bless us with more. So anyway, go, Paul.
All right. Well, I'll keep it short and simple now that the first announcements took 20 minutes.
Hey.
No, it was interesting because there's been some talk, and Ann kind of alluded to it. But I found it interesting because I'm talking about Ann, brought it up today just in regards to, some of our good friends, some of our longtime friends in this business, in this company, kind of feeling like, the business centers have been a little stagnant as of late. And it wasn't this feeling like it was, one or two people. It was actually, kind of a handful of people. And it was more than that. As we started talking about it and comparing notes and discovering that there was a little general sense maybe of feeling not necessarily in a place of frustration, but just longing for a little bit more, a little bit more activity, because we all know activity means that we're impacting lives and impacting families, and that's the main thing. So, and I also found it interesting because I was having a conversation with, I belong to a kind of a men's thread too with our upline, but some great guys like Aaron Beyer and Tyler Dickerhoof and John Stevens, to name a few, are all in this Gladiator men's group, and the same kind of conversation came up in that business page as well just today. So I felt maybe it was something worth touching on, because we all know in this industry, in many industries, but particularly in this industry, we have strapped ourselves into a roller coaster ride, and that's just part of it's part of the nature of this business. And it just seems like it feels right now for many of us that we may be on that dip, or we may be on that slow climb, waiting for us to go up over the top and reach a new height and pick up speed. And but I wanted to encourage us still at this time, even though from a business standpoint things may be in a slower state, there's always action that can take place. And in the slow times, I think it's even more more important to stay consistent just on the basics. Liz being on the call, I mean, one of the things that I try to do, and this was one of the things that was being discussed in this Gladiator men's group as well, was just this 3-3-3 mentality. So staying consistent in your 3 new reach outs, your 3 follow-ups, and then 3 loving on people, whether it's on your team, specifically, or if you have nobody on your team yet, then go out and look on the team page and encourage somebody else who just, was maybe vulnerable and put a post out. So that's important still, even in the low times, to keep that consistency, because that's what's going to keep driving not only your business center, but it's going to keep driving you personally. My belief, it's going to keep driving you and keep getting you through day by day. But I also wanted to encourage all of us to take another look at times like these when we may find ourselves in a little bit of a slow period or a lag period, to maybe focus a little bit more and take that opportunity and say, things maybe aren't as busy as I want them to be right now, but maybe I can use this opportunity in some other way. And for myself, I choose then to dive into personal development. And we've touched on it a little bit before, but I just really want to encourage all of you that even in this time, the fear, the self-doubt, those type of things are going to want to creep in, especially when things get a little tough and we maybe encounter a rough patch. Like I said, that low dip on the roller coaster ride, and those things are going to want to start creeping in. And I think the best defense we have against that is, it's to properly tune ourselves up from the inside out. And of course, we're doing it physically through these amazing products, but it's also important to do it on an emotional basis and to make sure that you're fueling your emotional state from the inside out. Because we want to be ready for these times. We want to be ready to be able to, rejoice and have fun and be the cheerleaders at on the good times and when new people are coming on board and life is good and the roller coaster's picking up speed. But we also want to make sure that the positivity doesn't get replaced with this negativity when going gets a little rough. So I just want to encourage all of us tonight, and I'm speaking to myself as well, to stay consistent in that action of fueling ourselves emotionally from the inside out, so that we don't let those things like fear and self-doubt start to creep in, because self-doubt itself is fear, lack of confidence is fear, even procrastination is fear. People say, oh, that person's just lazy. No, laziness is fear. If you really look at it, they're fearful of something, which is what's causing them to be a procrastinator, or what's causing them to be lazy, because they don't necessarily, they're fearful of taking that step that might actually encourage growth, either in themselves personally or in their business center. So take this time, channel your energy kind of away from the fear mentality, away from the tendency to want to maybe whine or complain or compare ourselves to others inside this industry or outside this industry, because that has a tendency to want to rear its ugly head at times and make us play that comparison game, and that's just dangerous. Everybody's going to go at a different speed. Everybody's roller coasters are not going to go at the same speed on this journey that we're on, but we're all heading in the same direction, and we're all going to get to the same destination. So that's what we need to focus on. We all, including Ann and I, we have big goals too. We all wish at different times that things were moving faster, that the roller coaster was picking up speed a little faster. But I will use this analogy of Ann referenced my soccer coaching, but I'm coaching for the first year ever a junior varsity high school team, and it's been a challenge because what I want for these boys, for these young men in their soccer careers and even in their win-loss percentage for the schedule, I wanted great things, and it didn't seem like it was happening fast enough for me. And so then I started to start looking back inside myself, start having doubt. Well, maybe I'm not the right coach for these boys. Maybe I'm not doing the right things. Maybe I'm not sending them through the right drills. What am I doing wrong? All of a sudden, all those those types of thoughts want to start playing in our heads and playing in our minds, and that can become a really bad distraction, and it can foster a lot of negativity. So I just want to encourage all of us to stay strong even in the slow times, to use that time to develop yourself personally. I know right now I'm reading 2 different books. I'm currently in our mini church group through our local church here. I'm doing a Resolution for Men, which is just a study book, but it's great. It's written by the same group that produced the movies Courageous and Fireproof. If anybody has ever seen those, both excellent movies. If you haven't, they're worth the watch. But and I'm also reading another book that I got on a men's retreat a few weekends back called Leadership Deficit. So when times are slow, still focus in, stay focused, stay consistent in your action, but also use that opportunity in a positive way to fuel yourself in a positive manner from the inside out. Because you know what? The train is going to pick up speed. The car is going to start rolling faster. And when things do pick up and get crazy and the busyness of this business and the schedule really impacts us again, we'll be better prepared to deal with it if we take these times, these little slower times, and work, and work on ourselves from the inside out. So
I said, if we don't do a good job now, God's not going to bless us with more later.
Amen.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Liz, I sent you, so there's nothing recent. There's a Harmony, so you weren't on the call, but Liz was asking, how you get your PIBs for different packs. So there's one I found in the under our files, and I screenshotted it to you. But
oh yeah, I see it.
Okay. So you'll be able to see the 30. So you'll be able to see the packs. The only ones that I don't see on there are the Shake and Cleanse pack and the 9-day, but you get $10 for those. And then when I was going through there, have you guys looked at or have you heard of isadiary.com? www.isadiary.com. It's a fabulous website for new cleansers. It's on the welcome letter, but I know a lot of the welcome letter is kind of overwhelming. It has lots of information, but it's like a step-by-step, like on day 1, it kind of tells you what to expect and what you're going to do. Okay, you're going to take the natural accelerator, you're going to do the shake, and it talks about, it's not only what you're going to do, but how you're going to feel and some of the feelings you might have. And so it's really good. So, I encourage you to take a look at it. And if you like it, then, refer it. And Liz, that might be something good for your daycare lady since she's not.
Yeah.
So what I always do when I send somebody a welcome letter, and sometimes you have to send it to them and then give it to them, but make sure they have healthy snacks, what they can have, what they can't have, again, what to expect. So isadiary.com, when I was looking through that, I remembered that. So that's a really good tool to use for new people. And the biggest thing, I was listening to a call by Kathy Coover. Kathy Coover is our founder. And she was kind of sharing how Isagenix came to be. And, it's just really, you're with the right company when you have somebody that comes out of retirement that's already a multimillionaire. And the reason they did is because they literally want to create more 6 and 7 figure income earners than any company ever. And they want to improve world health. So when you have somebody that is already a multimillionaire coming out of retirement because they want to help others enjoy time freedom, financial freedom, and good health. And oh my gosh, that's amazing. So that just tells you the generosity they have. But she was just saying, the line of this business, we have to keep talking to people, have to keep meeting people. And there's people that pray for this every day, pray for a change, pray for a breakthrough, whether it's their health, whether it's weight loss, whether it's financial. And so, our job is like pouring that coffee. Here's an opportunity. Do you want some coffee? Do you want to learn about Isagenix? It's yes or no. And we can't take it personally. My best friend said no to this for 2.5. Well, she just started ordering shake. And my best friend from grade school wants nothing to do with this. And we were best friends for 12 years. So, even the people that you feel like, okay, they're for sure going to join me. Why wouldn't they? They trust me. So we can't, it's the people you least expect that are going to be excited. And then, we just have to keep sharing the gift that we have.
And I will add, it's often, it's the people that you meet along the way on this journey that make this so incredibly fun. So,
like Harmony,
right?
like Liz.
You know what? Your new, your new BFF or GFF, maybe 2 months down the road. So keep your options open and keep spreading the love.
So what questions do you guys, so Liz, I know you're asking a couple more, or, a couple questions at the beginning. What other questions do you have? And then there's always like a teaching type of thing. And then we want you guys to be able to ask questions as well. Like, what are you struggling with? What are some of the objections you've had? Certainly we're not perfect. If we were, we'd be millionaires ourselves. But, but we've been doing this for 2.5 years, and we've definitely, like, I just had somebody order off of Amazon. Talk about and I used and finally it was like, you know what? And the girl, and it was somebody I reached out to, and she's like, I feel so bad, but my husband is such a skeptic. I'm like, you know what? It's not worth arguing and having a fight with your husband. If she wants to try it first on Amazon, but again, that's something that we're constantly like, no, don't do Amazon. You don't have the money back guarantee. You don't know what you're getting, and why order? And we're cheaper. We're cheaper than Amazon. But anyway, he was freaked out by the entry fee, the $29 enrollment fee. And I said, do you know that anytime you sign up, like I signed up for doTERRA so I could get stuff at wholesale versus retail. You pay money. Same as Norwex, same as Mary Kay, same as everything. So, yeah. So, I mean, stuff happens. But do you guys have any questions so far, or what's working, what's not? I know Harmony's been really, I know Harmony, you were frustrated when you couldn't get people to go to Super Saturday. Because Milwaukee, from where we are, Liz, is only an hour and a half away, so it's not a long drive at all. But it's okay. I mean, things like that are going to happen, but you just, like Paul was saying, you have to be consistent. It's not us they're saying no to, it's the opportunity. So.
When I had I wish I could. I actually would if I could, so that surprised me. So I thought that was good, even if they couldn't come.
That's good. That's good. So it wasn't a flat out no.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I was surprised. There was one or two, but not, a couple were like, oh, darn, I wish I could. And, oh, that sounds fun. And so I was like, oh, wow. Good.
Yeah, good.
And hey, if we can't get, those friends or people on our team, or people that you're trying to share this gift with to an event like that, that certainly doesn't mean that, that we fold up our tent and not participate ourselves. Every event is a huge opportunity to learn and to grow. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be, as Ann mentioned earlier, there's going to be some great people here. I know a little bit of each of their stories because I've heard them, each of them, the three speakers share before, but there's always local people as well that share their story that I've never met, never heard. And it's just a continual process of building your belief.
Yep.
And that's what events do. So even if you can't get a single person there, get yourself there.
Yep. And, in our team, like Heather Peterson is going, I mean, she's lost 100 pounds. So, we use each other for stories, so if you guys have somebody that has a large amount of weight to lose, we have a pharmacist on our team. My brother, he has been in an Ironman. He's on Isagenix. Team Isagenix. It's very hard. You have to do all of these. Harmony actually looked it up, but you have to do all these races and show significant improvement on using the products. And my brother's on it. So, honestly, it doesn't matter. Jody Britton, she has Lyme's disease. So, and she's had significant improvements because of Isagenix. So, really, if you have somebody that you guys come across and you don't know somebody that you can reach out to say, hey, can you help me out? Then let me know and I can help you. Obviously, Liz, you're a good one for, you know, a mom, a new mom, a breastfeeding mom. You know, so that's why I love our team so much, because they don't care if you're financially tight or not. If you sent them a message and said, hey, can you help me with this? Everybody would say, absolutely. What do you need? What do you need? A phone call, a 3-way, you know, on Facebook? What do you need? So that's helped us a lot, you know, as far as connecting people. So use that. And like I said, if you don't know anybody on our team, since you guys are still fairly new, we'll connect you. We only have a few minutes left before we get cut off. So do you guys?
Anybody else has questions?
Yeah. Do you guys have, what other questions do you have? Do you have, what are some of the objections you're hearing from people?
So actually, this isn't really an objection. I've just run into so many people I didn't know are on Isagenix. I mean, they're people I've known for years, and I'm like, really? You've been doing this? And or they know somebody who's doing it, so then if they're going to start, they're going to go through their closer friend. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I've hit some roadblocks, because I mean, people have noticed already through me, like, they're like, what are you doing, Liz? You had a baby 4 months ago and you look amazing. And I've gotten a lot of compliments, which is great. But then when I tell them, they are like, oh yeah, I know Isagenix, my friend does it. And it's like, great, you're going to go through your friend, not me.
Yeah. Well, you should ask them, why haven't you started it? You know,
right.
What's holding you back from starting? And I don't know, have you contacted any of your Beachbody people?
No, because I didn't really build a big team, though. That's the thing. I kind of just used the product, and to be honest, like, Beachbody is nothing compared to Isagenix. Like, it's night and day. And I mean, the Shakeology, I like the shakes, but their focus is really the workouts and the DVDs and coaching, and they do things like these free meal plans and yada, yada, yada. So, I mean, it's a lot tougher. I feel like it would be tougher to be a Beachbody coach. I feel like it'd be so much easier to do this Isagenix, and it is. It's just a matter of, you know, reaching out to the right people. So
yeah. You know, and so for your people, I mean, maybe it's a friend, you know, because, okay, so for me, you say, oh, I have a friend that does that, but really, how good of friends are they? So even though they say I have a friend, you know, just say, well, why haven't you signed up? Or, you know, how's your friend doing? Maybe just ask a few more questions, because, you know, a lot of times we say a friend is a friend when they're really more of an acquaintance.
Yeah, right.
So just ask. So, you know, so how do you know that? How long have they been doing it? How do they like it? And depending on what they say, obviously there may or may not be really a good friend. I mean, I've had people that, you know, and sometimes it's just they know people that are doing it, but they just need someone they can trust, truly trust, to be like, okay, I know this person and this person that I've done it. You know, when you say, why haven't you started it yet? Or what's holding you back from starting it? You know, you might find that people are just waiting to find someone they can connect with and be like, okay, if I trust Liz, and Liz used to do this and now she does this, it must be good. You know, you might find that you might get people. So not that we want to like take, you know, I mean, it's all about getting healthy, but don't discredit the fact that because they already know somebody that, you know, because it really is about having a connection and a relation, because you're going to be pouring a lot of time into this person, you know, reaching out. And so, you know, that person may not feel that connection with that other person. You know what I mean? So I would still just kind of ask some more questions and dig a little bit to find out, okay, you've heard of it. You have a friend doing it. What's holding you back? Why haven't you started?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that, I mean, it's good in a sense that Isagenix is getting out, you know, because it is so much better and people are hearing about it. And, you know, but if you're trying to share it with others, it's, like I said, one of those things where you don't want it to be, yeah, I mean, you want to be able to get your products paid for and help you. And it's good. It feels good to help other people. I mean, that's ultimately what it's all about. So. Harmony, what have you had any? We have 2 minutes and 30 seconds before we get cut off.
Just the money thing, money and timing.
You know, one of the things, okay, one of the things that Kayla talked about, so Kayla, again, is one of the millionaires in our upline. So it used to be the big push was if you don't have the money for the 30-day system, save up your money and wait till you can do a 30-day system. Now they're saying, because a lot of these people, when Isagenix first started, all they had was a 9-day. And a 9-day is, when you look at it, for paying an extra $100, you get the stuff for a 30-day versus a 9-day. But for some people, they can't afford the $300 some with the shipping and everything. And, $150 or $175 is more affordable. So even if you start them on a 9-day, they're still going through 4 deep cleanse days, still get them their Isodelites. It's still 2 shakes a day. So basically, and then for that 9, it's actually 11 days because you have your cleanse days in there. So you have a week and a half. And a lot of times when people, if they start the products, and they do it the right way, they'll keep going. So
I think that people might be better because I have a couple people that might try the 9-day. You think?
Sure, I would offer the 9-day. The Healthy Lifestyle Pack is another good starter one if they don't have the money for a 30-day, or the Shake and Cleanse. So if you want to look up those 3, the 9-day, the Healthy Lifestyle, and the Shake and Cleanse Pack, those are all around $150 to $175. It's the 9 days, the full 9-day with the deep cleanses. The Shake and Cleanse Pack is a shake a day and a nightly cleanse. And then the Healthy Lifestyle is the Ionics, a shake a day, and I think a nightly cleanse, for 2 weeks. So, but look up those 3 packs. Those are some good starter packs.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Obviously, the 30-day, if you can change a pattern for 30 days, you're more likely to continue on, versus a 9-day. But you got to meet people where they're at.
Right, and I guess, I didn't think of doing that. Because I feel like if they don't do a system and they're really wanting to lose weight, then I don't, well, don't just have the shake. So this is good.
Yeah. So I'm going to get cut off, but just let them know, hey, if you don't have, let's start with here. And, if you like it, then we can add on,